Are we entering a new era in the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise? To discuss that, we bring in former Toronto Maple Leaf Frankie Corrado. And I want to talk specifically about goaltending because it's been a long time since the Toronto Maple Leafs had a real number one goalie. It's still early with Joseph Woll, but the numbers pretty impressive. 4.34 goals against for Ilya Samsonov, a 1.44 goals against so far for Joseph Woll, making his way up. Is it official now that Woll is the true number one for the Toronto Maple Leafs until he loses this thing?
As long as he's playing well and the team is winning games, he will get the net, and that's okay with me. And when you look at the workload between both of these guys, Joseph Woll's workload has been much harder than Samsonov, and he's gotten better results. And Gino, I've been in the building a few times this season watching games. There's just something about Samsonov right now that you feel uneasy watching him. You feel like he's swimming around the crease, and you just don't get a lot of confidence in his game. To contrast that, when Joseph Woll is in net, there's just a sense of ease. There's this calmness that you feel. And yeah, he's going to let goals in from time to time. Of course, the best goalies in the league do. But there's just something about the demeanor and the calm that he seems to have in the net. And the team seems to echo that in front of him. It's been a big difference.
Okay, here's what I want to ask you. From a goaltending standpoint now, we're entering this era where platooning's the big thing because you don't want your goalie to get tired. But not too long ago, teams wanted to look down the end of the bench and say, we know who our number one is. We know when this guy's in net, we got a better chance to win this game. Do the Leafs need Joseph Woll to step up and be more than just a platoon goalie, but a guy that maybe could play mid-50s games instead of what they were thinking maybe 40 at the start of the year?
I would say there's a very good chance that he's going to turn into that sooner rather than later, and that'd be great news for the Leafs. If you have a goaltender that you know you can put out there in the most crucial games leading into the playoffs and know what kind of performance he's going to give you and give you a chance to win, that's exactly what you're looking for. You don't want a situation where you don't know which guy is going to take the ball and run with it. So it's great news for the Leafs that Joseph Woll is playing great. It's not great news that Ilya Samsonov isn't, but the fact of the matter remains is every player in that room is going to understand that there's a goaltender in that net in Joseph Woll who's going to give you an opportunity to win games, and that's all you can ask for, and everyone will be on the same page in that regard.
Samsonov makes jokes, maybe I need new glasses, but you know internally he's got to be hurting right now, given the way he's come out of the gate. That combined with the fact that he only got this deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs through an arbitrator, and when you go to those arbitrating hearings, it ain't pretty.
I didn't want to go. We went right up to the night before arbitration. Now, mind you, we did share our briefs with the NHLPA representing myself and the team. So, yes, Gino, I knew exactly what was coming. And my agent actually told me, there's an email coming through for you pretty soon. Do not, under any circumstances, open that email.
You
know what? The first thing I did was open that email, and I regret doing it, and I immediately deleted it off my browser. But that's how hard it is going through arbitration. And when you look at Samsonov right now, I'm not a goalie expert, but I know enough to tell you that there's some structural issues, maybe with the feet a little too busy in the net. And yeah, arbitration has something to do with that. But it's more about like getting your game in gear, because he went through arbitration. They still awarded him the number one position with this team. Now, how many games was that going to be at the start of the season? Maybe 45, maybe 47. Not exactly sure. He was going to be a 50-plus game guy. But despite whatever they argued in arbitration, they still thought high enough of him that they could give him the starting job. He hasn't taken the ball and run with it, and that's opened a great opportunity for Joseph Woll.
It's still early, but it certainly looks like the Leafs are trending towards Joseph Woll being their new number one. Now all he's got to do is keep doing what he's doing and trying to hang on to that job.